Thanks for staying with us. So we're moving on now to our hot topic of the day. We saw an interesting story where somebody was asking a question. You know, they said that who finds life harder, or who is life harder to, man or woman? Who has more difficulty in going through life, especially in Nigeria? Is it the man or is it the woman? That's the question of today, and that's the conversation we want to have. Who has it so hard? Who does society put so much pressure on? Who has it difficult the most in this country? Is it the man or is it the woman? That's our conversation. You can call us on the numbers on your screen, 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. It's a difficult conversation to have because if we look at both sides, everybody has one thing or the other they're dealing with. But we have to agree that one of the sexes, one person, one has it harder. That's the conversation. Let me come to you, Tokwe. You have, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't think we don't set us up to fail. We don't have to agree on who has it harder, but we need to defend why we feel each person has it harder.
Yeah.
I feel the woman has it harder in the African context. When I look at the Western world, I look at the US, the UK, I'll say the man has it harder. But if I look at the Nigerian context and the reality of living under patriarchy, the woman has it harder in the Nigerian concept. So what are the key indices? The responsibilities that a woman tends to carry, and she will bear it silently. The gender roles that seem to be skewed towards a woman. So gender roles, when we talk about gender roles, we're talking about the fact that, oh, you're going to raise the children, you have to keep the home together, you have to maintain your in-laws relationship, you must, if the house fails, it is the woman, if it works, it is the woman, if the children do well, it's the woman, if the children don't do well, it's the woman, if there are financial challenges, if it is being managed well, it is the woman. If the finances of the family is not being managed well, it is the woman. Like, the woman bears a huge weight of, if things work or don't work, it's a woman's responsibility. That's based on gender roles. Then, if you now manage to survive and you are financially empowered, you now have to be very humble as a financially empowered person, because they say you having more money means that you might be proud, you might be arrogant as a woman.
See, it's so interesting how you're able to talk about the woman because you're a woman. Yes. But see, if I was a man that asked that question, he's likely to reel out so many things that men have agreed to go through, you know.
We have shared it.
So so I'll come back to you, but let me come to you. Do you think men have it harder?
I think men have it harder. I think the society expects a lot from the man. And it may seem like when they are children, it may seem like the men have it harder because we are living in a patriarchy. If you have to choose who would go to school and the other person would have to stay at home because you can't pay the bills of your children, yes, you definitely ask the woman to step aside. And the rationale behind the woman stepping aside is because you know that this woman, no how, will be taken care of by another man. But it's your son that will take care of another person's daughter. So that's the rationale most parents have when they say, okay, you step down, let the man, because he's bearing our name, he will be responsible for taking care of other people's daughters or another person's daughter in the case of monogamy, you know. Now, when life is tough and hard, a woman can easily bend her neck and get people to respond to them. I have friends in the university back in the day where when they are broke, they are broke. When they finish their alawi, they have finished it. Nobody, they're not bending neck to anybody to say, men, guys. For guys, nobody is responding to them. Some of them that have fallen out with their parents who are no longer sending them money, struggle in school. They just rely on their girlfriends to support them. But even if my father doesn't send me money, I can bend neck for my boyfriend. I can bend neck for my guy friend. I can bend neck for anybody. And because the society sees women as the weaker sex, we get a lot of advantages that we don't talk about. We collect it silently and we keep quiet. When you go to a place, the people who are likely most favored are women. Once you put that, once you put that, so who listens to a man like that? Except it's a woman that's even working for the man. You say, I have my brother, please help my brother. You don't just walk into an office as a man and present yourself. But a woman can stand in, walk into an office and say, this is what I have, this is what I can get. And you will see people who are sympathetic to you because they feel you are the weaker sex. For different reasons. It could be just because they want to sleep with you. It doesn't matter the reason. You have that opportunity, but the man doesn't have. Even in the home, you talked about the African culture. The man is responsible for taking care of the home. Forget the men who are not able to do what they are supposed to do. But the men who are sitting in that position, they know the blood that is leaving them at the end of the month. But for a woman, people would understand, she's a woman, we have to do this in workplaces, she has to go through these moods and all of that. The world is more sympathetic to the plight of the women. Now, the men struggle in silence. They don't talk about it. For everything that comes to a woman, we are shouting on the rooftop. So it seems like our voice is the loudest. Now we suffer past. Now we world happy. All the benefits we collect in silence. The man will not even see any benefit to collect, and he will also struggle in silence. So the world, I believe.
Interesting. I had recently I was talking to my husband about something, and I can't remember what I was asking for. He wanted me to do something, I just couldn't do it, and he was quite disappointed. He said, "Mariam, everything I have, I put into this. Everything. Think about it." And I started thinking, I don't buy anything. Everything I buy is for this house. Yes. What is your problem exactly?
Yes. But you have somewhere hidden,
but I guess we are somewhat blinded by their struggles.
Yes.
But however, we cannot discountenance the real struggles women do have in society.
So let's talk about
why suddenly women are getting a bit of empathy. They're getting sympathy. Let's talk about the fact that the reason women now have a bit of people are being compassionate and helping women more now is because women have suffered in silence for a very, very long time. Women had it harder. You don't have a choice with life as a woman. Your parents will tell you what to do. They'll give you it. Till today, in some parts of this country, a woman is born, by the time she's 15, she knows that she'll be given in marriage to an older man because that's your lot. You need to help us secure the family. You go there so that at least every month you can be sending something from that house to us. That's her own conditioning. That doesn't happen with the man. The man has the opportunity to grow, go to school, do all of that. For many cases, the women are talking and people are listening because they know that for many years, your voices have been suppressed. So men will just be like this, let's just listen to you. Yes, it seems like women, we as a woman, you have like the vocal prowess. You can use your words and achieve things. But that's why I said this conversation is not about to achieve just this is the right answer.
Yeah.
It is let us examine. Because in somebody's life, the man might seem to be having it harder. But in another person's reality, every woman around her are having a terrible time and they don't have a choice. They've had children for a man. The man is not responsible. They are looking at themselves and wondering, I don't have any other option. I cannot dale mushu, which means I cannot go back to my father's house because it is seen as an embarrassing thing. We talk about women as if women are supporting women. Men are, when you talk about guys support guys. Yes, maybe as students, they might think they're having it hard, but guys support guys. And the truth is, we also live in a society that looks at you as a woman with many expectations of what success should mean to you. A woman is 40 and you're a failure because you're not married, you don't have children. A man is 40 and is eligible bachelor. So there are many areas where, as a woman, the odds are against you, and you're struggling on how to make it work.
And I wanted to talk about the silent suffering, because a lot of women do suffer in silence. When a man is frustrated, maybe in marriage, goes for a drink, hang out with his boys, have a girlfriend somewhere, does something. A woman sometimes don't have that opportunity to have something to exert or to even to rechannel.
If you suffer, you're a bad wife.
So she just has to take it all in. But the man is free to say, you know what, I want a second wife. Or I want to go somewhere and have, he can let loose in different ways. But women, because we want to keep our home, we want everything to be looking perfect, we just have to take it all in. And that's why many women die in silence. So sometimes women have it harder because they don't have that liberty to make their own choices or make changes.
So I will disagree with you. I've always believed that the world belongs to women. The only women that I see that suffer are women who do not know their powers. Because even from the time of old, you will see the kings, coming out to give the orders. Because who gave them the idea in the bedroom?
How do you know it's the bedroom?
I'm telling you now, read all those old books in ancient history and all of that. You see that it's the women that have the real conversations and tell their husband, this deal you want to sign with this country, please don't, or go ahead. They are more influential. But they do it codedly because at that time, society did not give them or allow them to have a voice. But they control. So you see women who already know who they are, who are not having life difficult at all because they know the right buttons to push. So we are usually looking at those ones who are really suffering because they've not decided on what they want to do or they do not have the willpower, and we use them to judge all the other women. But I believe that the world belongs to women right now, even in the times of old. It just took a few of them to understand the powers that they carried, and they were able to work those powers. Men don't carry any power. That's the truth. They are the man, they've been given that authority, they do what they need to do, and if the stress of life comes on them, you find that sometimes they are breaking. And because society does not give them an option to express, they break in silence. We think it's only women that suffer in silence. A lot of men in this, our Nigeria, are already tired of their marriages, they are tired of life, but they don't just know how to complain, or they don't have any ear that will listen to them. They'll say, you're a man, chest it. You're a man, chest it. And you see that the men are dying faster than the women. What do you think is the cause?
Let me take this call from Tunde. Is calling from the UK. Good morning, Tunde.
Hi, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I just want to appreciate you guys for the wonderful things you're doing.
Thank you.
Again, those of us outside, we find it difficult to call in. Your topic yesterday was fantastic, and I think you guys should
do a part two.
Repeat it again, because you are helping to educate people in the nation. You need to talk more. I struggled to call in yesterday, but for a very long time I could not. Well done. You and the guys, you are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. I just want you to know we wish we could have opportunity to speak to you and commend you.
Thank you so much. That has made my year so far. All right, so going back to this. So just like we're examining it, we're trying to see, because the truth is that life can be unfair to anybody.
Yeah.
But there are some sexes that somewhat have a way to maneuver. So let me look at both sides. So for the man, for example, he knows he's in charge. Patriarchy gives him the power. So even though things are difficult, because I have that confidence that I'm the person in charge of this home, this family, I am the manager here, that still gives me a bit of confidence.
Really?
So even though I struggle, I can still find a way, find my feet. But the woman sometimes, she's already subconsciously told that she is the weaker vessel. She is the weaker one. So she's constantly struggling to make her voice known. So in life, you can say she's working twice as hard to get noticed. Even in her family, in her work, in her business, she's working twice as hard to make her voice known, because I am here. Though it looks like she's somewhat being favored, but the truth is that the subconscious depression she's had for years can stop her from achieving what she could have easily achieved if indeed we're in a society that allows women to flourish.
So how many people has this stopped in modern day? Even in the times of old, I will always refer, women had been known to build empires, to build businesses. If you go to a different cultures, you see that women, it was Oyibo women that were actually full-time housewives. They were even more suppressed than African women. African women have always been industrious. They are the ones handling the markets. They are the ones handling the societies. They had their own sphere of influence. The only thing now is we're always arguing are we equal or who should be head? That's where the disparity is. If not, women have always had influence. The people who are actually propagating the patriarchy are women. They are the ones supporting the patriarchy. When anything happens and the women, the mother, want to come and, disgrace the wife or shave the head, is it the men that sent them? It's the women. So they have powers at different levels, but we have those ones who have not really understood how to come out of that societal covering, so to speak. And so they just stay there. But they are few compared to those who are doing amazing. Go to the major industries in the world today. Women are championing it. Women are leading it. Women are doing amazing. In the movie industry in Nigeria now, most of the producers are doing excellent, working with Netflix and all. They are women. Didn't we have men before in the industry before they came into place?
All right, let me take this guy called Yakub. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there?
Yeah.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I just want to start off at the hobby.
Good morning.
Before I said anything, I don't know how manage you assemble all these very good brains that join in this your skill program, because listening to hobby, in fact, He has said it all. And then thank you, all of you, for being outside this morning. Sometimes listening to Mama Deji, you know that these ladies, they have all it takes.
Yes.
Because even Miriam, sometimes when I watch you guys, I know that the president has assembled those guys, those ladies. He did a fantastic work. Abi, God bless you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Something area.
Thank you, Yakubu.
If you see a king, and then the king come out, begin to give order, that somebody in inner room give that order. You may not know it. See, we men will have it harder. We have it harder if it says that. A man that you know that have a responsibility, those are the men that have it. But a man that does not, he thinks nothing cares about home. Those ones, they have it easy. Because somebody like me, before I left home, they will give you sort of some certain things that you need to do. And then you must get it. If you're a responsible man, you must get it. And then look at another thing that all this says. If you are going to seek for a job, man and woman, you get to some certain place, you are seeking for a job. I will tell you, first blood. If it is me as well, a lady will get it before a man. Forget it, no matter what. Just as a responsible man gets it other. Mark that word. A responsible man gets it other, not the other way around. God bless you all, and
Thank you
every
very
one
much.
of you.
Okay, let me just jump in here.
So, yes, when it comes to jobs, I don't believe that women get the job faster than men because I employ, and I know many things people consider. When I'm employing a woman, I'm thinking about the fact that is she single or is she married? Will she tell me she has period pains? Will she tell me she wants maternity leave? Will she tell me she's pregnant, she's vomiting? So many people think twice before employing a woman. A woman needs to be twice as good before she will get that job, and that's the reality. When we talk about women succeeding in businesses, who owns the businesses that women are CEO in and MD in? The percentage shows that men earn more than women, that men are more CEOs than women. So in terms of numbers, we live in a man's world. Does that mean the world is harder for a man? No. But they control the world, so the things can twist in their favor. I feel that the truth is, the thing, when we say world is harder for women, it's the weight we have to carry, the unseen weight, the emotional burden that we have to carry. And the reason I'm having this question is not to say, oh, this is more superior, is that I want men to start looking at the jobs, the things that women have to deal with. If he's happy, I'm happy. If he's not happy, I'm not happy. It's a woman that will have that kind of case. There are many men that will tell you, whoa, more. It's not that they're not few exceptional. There are few exceptions to the cases, but the majority of the cases, it is a woman shouldering the weight of all that has to happen in the house. It is a woman shouldering the weight of how to raise the children. And in most cases, in recent times, women silently financing the family. Women silently financing the family and yet carrying the burden of insecure men on a daily basis. If you check the numbers and let women talk to you about the reality of what they are facing, it is heavy.
Let me make a point. Based on what BC said, that woman that is talking in the ears of the man.
Very few of them.
Even
sometimes it's the side chick that is talking in the ear.
If the woman, listen now, let me make my point. My point is that even that woman who is doing it, she's doing it because she's thinking of all the options. She's weighing the options, the burden of, if this man takes this decision, how will it affect me? If he doesn't take this decision, how will it affect our family? So the burden really is on the woman. She's the one thinking. So he comes out to look at the star, made a decision. But the woman that's talking in her ears, she's considering multiple things. That decision can affect her child, her generation, her community, her family. So it's a huge burden.
And you
for the
think
woman
the men are not considering such things?
Many of them don't. They only see one way. Men are usually one street. They don't look at
I don't know the kind of men you have met, but I have met men who considered all the angles. Men who will put their lives on hold because they want their family to be good. They want their family to be great. Men who will not even buy clothes for themselves. They will not wear good shoes. You see them wear knickers and slippers, and then they are putting all their resources into their home, and they're constantly thinking, what next? How next? What else can I do to make sure that my family is okay, my extended family, especially for the first sons? You know, depending on the kind of family. I came from that sphere, and I understand the burden on the men, constantly thinking of what next, how will it be? Because there's nobody, if I'm broke today and I'm looking for money, there's no money anywhere for me. Nobody will smile. But the wife can go back to her parents. The wife can go to her friends and ask for help, and they will smile at her. Some of these men don't have that option.
Let me take this call from Ade. Good morning, Ade. Are you there? Oh, I'm so sorry for keeping. Let's take a few comments on social media.
Yes. Please let me just also mention something. You know, when the way BC says somebody is whispering into the ear, why do I have to whisper? I'm a human being. Why do I have to be the one silently?
Because the decision is not yours.
Because the decision is not mine. So who has the power then? So whose life unfair to? I can do you understand? The woman is constantly having to seek favor with the man for life to be fair to the woman. That already shows that the power does not stay with her. So and when a woman, you know, it says women don't know how powerful they are because the women actually are the one controlling things. The ones that know, they call them conniving, twisting, manipulating, because they feel like the woman gets everything she wants. It means that she's manipulating the man against his will.
So
we should be able to individually chart our course. Why is it that there's no competition between a man being the head or not the head? Because I feel like that's a given. I'm a Christian, so I'll follow that principle. But I struggle with the fact that a woman's life is more difficult because she cannot independently make any decision. If a woman in a marriage cannot just choose a job and say I'm traveling, I have an amazing husband, super supportive. Yet before saying I want to travel, I need to table my request. He doesn't have to tell me that. He's going for business in Benin. He tells me I'm going for business in Benin. He flies to Benin. I'm the one that would have to say, my darling, so as it is, there's this thing that I want to go and do. I'm thinking I should do this. And yet I know he's a very supportive person. He's not going to say no, but I'll need to explain it.
Yeah.
But majority they don't even have any option. Many people get opportunities that they have lost simply because they are a woman. So if we look at it in those places, a woman tends to have...
So let me come to you in a second. Let me take Ade, good morning, you back.
Something is... It's not this one, we did not delay you.
It's London. It's London's network, not
So you're
Nigeria's
boxing it into women that are married. But that's not only the women we have now. We have women who are single.
Don't let us go to single women that have to sleep around to get everything they want.
Oh, please don't say that. How dare you say that?
I'm not
Do
saying
not say that. Do not say that. Even don't even get me started. So we have the percentage of women who are married who understand that the man is the head. And so they will have to have a conversation before they make some moves. It doesn't mean that if the man says no, there are some women that even when the man says no, they say, I've told you and I'm going.
Usually when the man says no,
hold on now.
They don't have options.
You don't have a home.
Don't use
a lot of women don't have options.
Women are doing things. So
when the man says no,
there's no option.
That's it.
Women are doing things.
Problem in your marriage if you want to insist on certain things.
Women are doing things, and even if they don't get the no, if they get the no outrightly, there's a way they still get the yes later. So let me tell you why it seems like women don't have control. Over the time, or the way creation was made, man was given the physical strength, the brute force, right, to protect the woman. And so for things like authority, we needed somebody who was the alpha to protect their pack, right? And a woman had to learn other skills, which are more important today. Even in the different organizations, these skills are even very important, more than the brute force.
Soft skills, yes.
Soft skills, because nobody follows anybody who has a brute force right now. So women had to learn how to be calm, how to be cunning, emotional intelligence to get their way. And those of them who have mastered it are getting their way. So you see the brute force, I am the man. But
isn't that a lot of burden?
It's not a lot of burden. That's our makeup. No, we cannot do brute force.
We have to adapt.
Listen, we cannot do brute force. Our physiology does not permit us for brute force. We have our own kind of strength. So instead of just blankly saying men have it harder or women have it harder, everyone has their struggles. We have it different. That's just the final. Yes, we all have it different. But our skills, we have some very good skills that help us and help even the men that we think have the brute force. That's just the truth. Those skills help the men. We teach the men how to bend in this way, and those skills are needed. So, for instance, you have a husband who is in an office, and every time he's getting upset and he's getting into trouble with his boss, you hear their women coaching them. No, now, talk to your boss like this. Do it like that. Do it like this. And it helps the man. So who are you saying has control because I have brute force and I'm shouting? It's not by like that.
Let me go on a break. We need to take a few calls. We're going to be wrapping up soon. Let's take a few calls on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. I have a phone call. Mr. Oladimeji from Ojodu. You're welcome to the show. Thanks for calling.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Go
morning,
ahead, please.
Nice day, happy anniversary.
Yes.
to the ladies.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're counting down.
Okay, So quick one. I want to support what this has said so far. You see, you don't get to know what men go through because they don't speak out. Men just button up. Like she has said, I never knew that there would be a woman who would think in that direction. They will always tell you that you're a man. Man, you manage your home. Do this, do that, do this. I'm talking to you based on experience. There are things that your woman will tell you, or just to tell you, not because she's seeking your permission, but she's telling you. And if you just say no, the way I've told you, you want to do, and nothing. Let me give an example. There was a time that myself and my wife, we had an argument, and then, do you know who message said, don't even expect sorry from me. Imagine. Don't even expect me to tell you sorry. And I look at the so no problem, carry on. Is it that I'll be discussing with someone outside, and they will say, I know now, they're a man. No, you know that's the way of a woman. Women have always been in control. Just that, you mentioned it earlier that men always have a way of hanging out. Women to hang out.
Okay.
They know where to discuss, to meet, who to meet. They have friends.
Why the women not calling
discuss their
on
issues with, and they go about.
Thank you, Olamide. We're waiting for women to call the show. Thank you very much, Olamide. I have a message here because I think we are moving this conversation from who has more power. That's not the conversation. Who is life harder to? Let's not be so careful, not so easy to jump into that. Who has more power? Because I got a message now from someone that says that when men love their wives or are obliged to them, they often bow to their whispers and sometimes crave such whispers. The power now lies in the hands of the wife's hands, which is great. I get that. But who is life harder? Who has it so much difficult in life? Is it the man or is it the woman? And we're talking to business, getting a job, getting married, having children, even handling a family, society, in church, in the mosque. Who is life harder to? And I think it's looking like the woman. Because life is stacking up so much responsibilities for the women to achieve. The man only has one job: provide for your family, love your wife, and provide. That's like the only job they have. But women have like trillion of tasks: love your in-laws, love your children, love the neighborhood, love your community, help the church, support the family, and make sure
the man does not love all those other people.
His own job. When I love my wife, and provide for my family, every other thing.
That's being unfair to the man. Okay. We've seen situations where so I like the other caller, now our favorite caller, Yakub, what he said, a responsible man. So most times what we see is men who just largesse. They are not doing what they need to do. So we assume all men have it easy or they have it like that. But responsible men are the ones who are checking in. They are checking in on your parents. They are checking in on their in-laws. They are checking in on everything that they need to do. They are working hand in hand. That's a responsible man. And trust me, life is usually harder. Except, of course, God decides to just favor and show his grace on that person, or the person is excellent in his work and he's growing, But aside from that, normally the things that would take a woman. Okay, so there's another thing.
See, this man you're talking about, once he has the money, that life is easy for him.
Is it easy to have the money?
But the only problem a man has is the money.
Once he gets that money, everything else, he can. Everybody will line up. He's going.
But a woman having money is a problem.
Having girlfriend, traveling, he can do anything he wants.
Money solves the man's problem.
But that's when the woman's problem is just starting.
When the man has money.
Because
when the man has money, the woman's problem is also solved.
That's talking about
a responsible
married woman. Let's talk about women generally. If you are a woman, you have money, you are single, is a problem. The men will be scared to toast you. They will say, don't drive the car. The car is too big. It will oppress men from toasting you. No, they will not marry you. So
let me pause for a second. Let me take Oluwaseun. I'll come back to you. Oluwaseun has been holding for a minute. Good morning, are you there? Oh, I'm so sorry, Sheol.
It's not single. So for a single woman, having money is a threat to the man. for a married woman, having money is a threat to the man because they will say the man will be like, because you have money, Abi, because you're not making money like me, there's always a problem.
Even the single girl not having money, she's a liability.
If he does not, so like everywhere you turn to, there is a problem for the woman. If you have money, problem. You don't have money, problem. You are resourceful, problem. You are not resourceful, problem. You are hardworking, problem. You are not hardworking. It's not a lazy woman you are married. So everywhere you turn, the life just seems to, a man determines how things would align. The woman has to please the man. And so that's why, that's the place where it will seem like things might be harder for the woman.
Do you know why it's hard? It seems like things are harder.
Let me pause you for a second. I have Brown. Okay. I'm not sure it's my husband. Brown, are you there? Good morning. Hello? Hello, you're live. Who's my husband?
Hello, good morning.
Oh, no. Good morning, are you there? Go ahead.
Good morning, can you hear me?
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I want to first of all thank you very much for this program.
Thank you, sir.
And I want to say a high five to BT.
Thank you.
It's like you understand what men go through. But a lot of women don't understand because they don't feel what a man feels. Because they're in the shoes of a man. There's no way you don't understand what a man feels. A man goes out every day. And when he's coming home, you don't know if that day was successful. If he was able to get his dream, maybe he's coming home, he's scared, trying to be courageous. And to get to the house, the woman that is supposed to comfort you, because there's some men that you say they slap their wife. You say, this man, we don't know why he did this. Why is a man like this? No, you don't understand what the man is actually going through at a particular time. Women can easily cry, and you listen to them. But the man cannot cry. Nobody's going to listen to him. But what I respect about women...
Brown, can I ask you a question?
The production part of the woman is something you need to respect.
Brown, let's engage you for a minute, since you're a guy. Brown.
There's no question about that, the man. And this has said it all.
Okay. Brown, can you hear me? Hello, Brown, are you there? I wanted to engage him and ask him, like, why is it the woman's job to comfort you? For example, you've had a bad day, for example. Sometimes we give so much responsibility to the women in this country. It's her job to comfort you. It's her job to make sure that you... A man, therefore, should also have the responsibility to himself.
To comfort himself.
I'm having a bad day. I'm about to enter my family's, my home. I don't want to put this bring this negative energy into the home. I am responsible to ensure that I only bring positive energy into that house. So I talk to myself, change my countenance, get home. Then, once I don't throw that energy to anybody, at some point, when I'm ready to have a conversation on this, I can now call her to share my stresses with her.
That is why
and then
a lot
then
of men, Mariah, have high blood pressure and they are dying in silence. I've heard men who have lost their jobs, and just because they want to do this thing that you are preaching now, talk to myself, don't bring the negative energy home, they will not tell their wives that they have lost job. Every morning they'll carry a briefcase and leave the house just to make the wife feel like they are still working. And what does it do to the health of a man? I think men should begin to speak up.
I agree.
The fact that we married is for us to carry each other's burden. So why am I working on myself first before I come and meet you when you're supposed to hug me, hold me tight? That night, give me good food. Tell me it's okay, honey. It's okay. That's all I need. And that's why you see some of the men, I'm not making excuses for people who are cheating, but they'll just say, I just need somebody that will just listen to me. Let me just say it the way it is. Do you understand? So there was something she also raised where you say the women who, if you have too much money, is a problem. You have this, is a problem. You know the difference between a man and a woman? A man is daring to face the world, irrespective of what people say, irrespective of what society says. The difference is that a woman does not have that lever yet to face the world. So you are constantly calculating, what will society say? How will they treat me because I am not married? How will they treat me because I have so much money? How will they treat me? You are constantly not living in your authentic... Exactly. Not living in your authentic self because you want to please society. So I'm saying to women today, you don't need to please society. If you are a woman, you are earning, you have a right to enjoy yourself. A man will meet you at that level. But men knew this from a very long time, probably because of the patriarchy. And they go ahead and live their lives. They don't care. Even these days, we have men who don't have shishi, and they want a woman who has money. And they'll boldly tell you, from the first conversation, how much is your salary? How much are you earning?
Let me take this
splitting this bill. They are more daring.
Let me take this call. Good morning, are you there?
Good morning.
We need some women. Oh, a woman. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good
good morning. Okay, I would like to say that, you know, the burden that women carry, there are lots of burdens that we carry that men cannot help us. You know, when childbearing, men can't help us do that. You know, for me, I believe that the major burden that men carry is the issue of providing for the family, and of which now women help out. But the basic burden that we carry, men can't help us out. So now I would leave it for us all to judge that, okay, who really has it bad, you know, in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Olasho. Let me see what Oluwaseun even highlighted now is that one role God has given men to do that, your life headache. Many women are even doing it for them now. That's one way. Your only job, just provide you this thing. That work. Now, you don't take them now. So, what exactly, how hard could life be for a Nigerian man now? How hard? Because half of you are looking for successful women who are high class, who will share. So you just come home, relax, you know, my wife is, you know, and you're having a ball. So life is obviously easier for the Nigerian man these days. I mean, let's take a few comments on social media.
So I have messages here. Hafsa says, in an ideal situation, a man is supposed to have it harder. That's why wives are asked to respect and obey their husbands. If he has to struggle to bring food to the table, why shouldn't she rub his head? Good Beat says, women suppose help out and be equal, simple. Akani Taiwo says, no, let me leave that. Yetunde says, BC, be real. How many are such men? Please speak fact. I'm not speaking fact, I'm speaking my opinion. If I'm speaking fact, I'll be reeling out numbers. If you don't hear numbers, it's my opinion. So Moses says, the world is harsh towards a man, and every decision a man takes has consequences, not for women. Women usually take their privileges for granted.
Okay. Dolani Roberts says, men are 100% more likely to be a victim of violence. 80% of all suicides are men. Men who face tougher prison terms for an offense also committed by a woman, men are more likely to be charged, convicted for a crime. So according to Dolani, he said men have a burden of responsibility for the world. The expectations of a woman is a social construct that women have created and imposed on themselves, but men have just been expected to be and do by both men and women.
I have a caller. Oh, happy day. Happy day. Good morning. Your name is Oh Happy Day. Happy day. Oh, happy day. Go ahead.
I just want to contribute a little bit in this.
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, the issue is that the issue about the matter is that you are correct. Because one thing about it is that men and women, men get more hard this than I'm speaking from experience. My experience is that if you marry a woman who is God-fearing woman that knows the importance of having a husband, the importance of marriage, having a wife, getting a man that knows the importance of having a wife, you will find it very easy to deal with problems in society. You know, there's a set of men. If they are coming home and they discover that the pocket is not all that good, they find it difficult to go home because of what they are going to face there. But a woman who is very, very reasonable and responsible will know that the sky is not always white. But in essence, in totality, all, the men are finding it harder. If you take, for instance, when you get to hospital, you see a man with cardiovascular disease, disease of ailments in the hospital. Before you find one woman, you find like 10 men.
Yeah,
and
all right.
Most of it are because of what they are facing. And some men cannot believe, they just people to express it to, you know, when you are coming from work, when you get home, and you find it that the woman there, if you explain what you are passing through, be able to encourage you. Right. You'll be happy.
Thank you very much, Happy Day. Somebody's saying here that we're forgetting that women also have to raise children. The burden of having children and having to be the one to raise them, especially when the men are going out looking for jobs and focusing on provision. So that's another angle that women have to deal with. Life can be harder for a woman because you have to sometimes put your life, your career on hold to raise these children. You have to make a decision. Man, go out. Okay, you can go. I have to be able to raise these children. That's a sacrifice a lot of women have to make. Some women don't want to have to make that. They want to also have a successful career.
But now you say you want born now. Are you born in it for
No,
me to raise?
man and woman decide to have
no,
children.
hold on. There are women who have decided, I cannot do this stress. I want to
are they
force-
married?
That's
No, they
modern
don't
day.
want to
now.
now.
That's
They
modern
marry.
day.
They don't want to
marry
marry.
They are
now.
doing alpha modern.
Okay, please, I have
Talking about
messages
normal
here.
people.
Niger lawyer in Canada says, stop her speaking facts. Aduola says, based on what BC said, she's very right. Even in the literature book, Macbeth, it was Lady Macbeth that was giving the order silently. Antnam says, of course, men have it harder, but women go through most pain in childbirth. Take out childbirth, men have to protect and provide and look after the well-being of the family. Hafsa says, what percentage, that's asking me, what percentage of those men in this generation where the women have decided to take up that role? Akani Taiwo says, I think Yakubu just nailed my point by saying responsible men. Responsible ones find it difficult because they must meet up with the needs.
Yeah, Honorable Ademola Lalade says, for me, I don't think anyone should have it harder. If there is cooperation between the man and the woman, they should be able to help each other in whatever circumstance they find themselves. Man should support the woman. Woman should be helpmate for the man. Shikina Adekunle Gbolawan says, men suffer the most, I swear. Society puts too much pressure and responsibility on men. That makes them feel burdened right from a young age. But their voices won't be heard, even if they are heard, even if they speak their pain. Well done, Auntie Obiajulu. Let me...
So I think we're going to have to wrap up now, but I think...
it's different.
They are different.
You can't compare them.
Yes.
They're two different human beings, and they have different roles.
Agree.
Yes, we have different
So everybody has it harder sometimes. Sometimes others have it harder sometimes. So we all have to depend on where you are.
And our physiology also has separated the roles for us. So you don't naturally expect the man to be the nurturer because his physiology does not give him that. Even though some men can play that role, but that's not his natural makeup. It's the woman's natural makeup. So you don't consider your natural makeup as suffering. You can only say, I need more support here so that I can be most effective. But don't say, I suffered to carry belly. Did you not enjoy it when you were knacking?
Hey,
anyway, what I feel people should get is that this is an informative show. Yeah. So you are now understanding, the men are seeing the woman's perspective, the women are seeing the man's perspective. Everybody has times when it is hard, but when you now understand our perspective, you'll be able to treat us with more empathy, treat the men in your life with more empathy, treat the women in your life with more empathy, because now you're seeing all the difficulties that they are going through.
The challenges.
So that's basically what I want.
Please let our men live longer for us.
Yes, men should share, women should listen a bit more.
So final message is go to prisons, police custodies, medical hospitals, psychiatric hospitals. More husbands die early than their wives. Before going alone speaks volume. I don't agree. That is all we can take